Hello guys and welcome to another DIY with MI. Today we're going to be checking out how to change the oil on your car. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, stay tuned because it's coming up right here, right now on MI Sperry. Okay guys, so for this DIY, we're going to be changing the engine oil on a car. Now, I'm going to do this on my car. Your car might differ, but what I'm going to tell you is basically very simple. You can perform this on any car. It's the same steps. You just may have different socket sizes and maybe different locations of things, but I'll explain it as we go. The things that you will be needing, you're going to obviously need the weight oil that you need. You need at least 4 to 5 quarts of it, depending on what kind of car you have. I have a V8, so it will take about 4 to 5 quarts of it. So I get these 5-quart jugs is what I get. Check your book that comes with the instruction manual for your car. Check that manual. It'll have exactly what you need to do. It'll have what oil weight. This is 10W30. Now my truck has almost 200,000 miles on it, so I get the high mileage stuff. It just works a little better. But check for the weight that it recommends to use, and check, and weight meaning that's this 10W30 for those of you that don't know. That's the 10 weight, 30, you know, is what it is. So it's basically how thick it is, the viscosity of it. Anyway, check your owner's manual for what you should use. As well as when you go to the store, you'll also have to pick up an oil filter. I recommend the Bosch filters. Now there's no paid promotion or anything. I just like these. I think Ave even did a video on these and tore apart a Fram, I think an AC and a Bosch. And the Bosch one was actually the best filtration. So those are the ones that I use, or at least that I'm gonna start using because my store finally stocks them because I'm sick of the Fram ones. The Fram ones don't work very well in my truck. Anyway. So what you do is they come with a number. They have a number on the side of them. There should be a book in your parts store when you go to them. There should be a little book that's hanging by all the oil filters. You open that book up and you can look up the number oil filter for your vehicle. So you just look up your make, your model, and what year it is, and it'll tell you exactly which numbered filter that you need for your car. So go check that out. Those are the two things, really, the main two things that you need to buy. That's your consumables, tools that you will need to use. I like these little waste receptacles. What they basically are is you slide this underneath your oil pan, which we'll see here in a minute, and you drain your oil into this and it holds it, and it even has a nice little spigot for you to take the oil back out of it, which I'll be showing you how I deal with the used oil and whatnot. So now, I recommend gloves, definitely. These little rubber gloves. I get these little nitro gloves from Walgreens. You can get them anywhere. Walmart, I think, has them. Any place you find them. Usually a drugstore will have them. But these are great because you tend to get very, very oily, and oil, as you know, soaks into your skin and then your hands are black. So it's nice to have those little gloves. You just peel them off and you're done. Another great thing is once you find out what size oil filter you have, is get one of these oil filter wrenches. These things are actually quite nice, especially if you've had oil filters put on by somebody else, usually the Jiffy Lube guys or whoever. A lot of times they use these and they're very, very difficult to get off because they will screw them on with one of these wrenches, and they're very hard to get off by your hands. So once you find your size, I recommend finding one of these. They're not very expensive. And then obviously you're going to need a ratchet set and some sockets. And the sockets that I'm using are going to be metric because mine is metric. Yours may be standard, so having a good set of metric and standard sockets is a good thing. I'm just using a normal 3/8 drive ratchet, and we should be able to get into it. And that's about it, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some gloves on. And once I get some gloves on, we're going to slide underneath the truck and we'll take the oil plug out. So be back in a little bit. Okay guys, so I'm sorry I got the heater going. It's really cold out here. So anyway, I'm down here next to the car. I'm going to slide underneath it. I'll take you with me and I'll show you the oil pan. So as you can see, I'm on the passenger side. We're going to slide down underneath and here we go. All right, if you see that right there, that is the oil plug. So that's what we're going to be taking off. Okay, so let me get set up and we'll unbolt that. Now we'll go ahead and take out the oil filter. Now you do want to check and make sure that there is no remnants of a gasket, because if there's any remnants, it'll cause it to spray out everywhere. Okay, alright, so now I got that somewhat cleaned up when I got the new one. Okay, so once we get that all finished, we got that tightened down now. So now we just need to fill up with some oil. And then, like I said, this is not a paid promotion. This is not paid. I like Pennzoil. That's the one that I like. You can use Quaker State. You can use Mobil 1. You can use, you know, whatever oil that you like. I have good luck with Pennzoil. It's cost effective, so I use it. Anyway, so you need a funnel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over here. And my oil filler is right here, okay? So usually it's on the side of the valve cover is usually where it's gonna be located. It usually has, like mine actually shows you it's a little oil symbol, and it even has the weight of it. Now, mine is 5W30. I'm using 10W30 because mine's starting to burn a little oil. Mine's getting older, so I up the viscosity a little bit so I get a little bit more out of the oil. As the car gets older, the rings that keep the oil out of the cylinder, they start to wear down and it'll start to burn a little oil. Now that's just something I do. You don't have to do that, but it's something that I do. Anyway, so let's go ahead. We'll get her filled up here. See if I can do this. This is my long funnel. I had a shorter one. Oh, I see it. Hey, I found my shorter one. Give me just a second. The short one works a little better here. Okay, so now we just got to kind of somewhat long bomb it. So I'm going to go around the other side here. Excuse me for a minute, I'll be in your way. And then I'm going to dump her all in. So here we go. Let's see. Now on my truck, it takes pretty much this entire thing. And that's about perfect. So on your car, like I said, might be different. I'd follow the owner's manual recommendations on what to put in there, like how much and whatnot, because you don't want to overfill it. Okay. So anyway, that's basically it for filling it up. Now I'm just going to put the cap back on and kind of wipe everything down, and then be back in just a second, and I will show you how to dispose of it. We're going to take the old oil and put it back into this bottle so that way we can do our disposal. Okay, so here's what I like to do as far as disposal goes. So we've got our old oil filter right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it off, and then what I like to do is I like to put it back in the box that it's in. That's just me. So I take this and kind of wipe it and wrap it up into a cloth, take the old box and just put it in there. Now, oil filters you cannot throw away in your trash. It is illegal. Oops, hold on, let me figure out what I'm doing here. So I just wrap it up and stuff it in the box. Now, oil filters you cannot dispose of in your trash. It is illegal because it's full of oil, and that can be a problem. So you just take it to either your local disposal facility, or you can take it, some different auto parts stores will go ahead and dispose of the filter for you, but know that you can't just throw this in the trash. You have to dispose of it in the proper way. Put the cap back on this, and what I do is I take this to my local auto parts store, and they let me dump it out in their big tank for recycling. Okay, so one of the final things you want to do is you want to start your vehicle and check your oil pressure. If you have oil lights that tell you if the oil pressure is down, you just want to make sure that those lights don't come on. And if you have an oil pressure gauge, you want to make sure that your gauge goes up off of 0, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to bring you on in. So let's go in here and we will check out the dash here. Let's see if I can't fire this thing up. Hold on. All right, so there we go. It may take it a minute for it to get going, and there she goes up to 40. That's what you want to see. You want to see that good oil pressure. I don't know if you're seeing, this is my oil gauge right here. So you see that it took it a minute, it was at 0, and then it went up to 40. So it has to pump it through the new filter and through all the different things, and so it takes it a minute, but it goes up, and that's how you know that you're good to go. All right, I need to service my airbag. Burp. Another thing that you need to do is reset your oil. So as you can see, let me see if I can pop this open. Of course it says 78% oil life. Well, actually I've reset mine, so I need to reset this. Now on my truck, again, read the owner's manual. The owner's manual will tell you what you need to do. On my truck, you have to basically turn it to accessory. So I'm going to turn it to accessory. You stomp the gas pedal down here 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you turn it off and you turn it back on. And that's pretty much all you have to do for the Avalanche. And I don't know if you can see that. 100% oil life remaining. Yay! Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little DIY experience with me. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see more things like this. Let me know kind of more things maybe around the house or something like that you would like to see on our DIY with MI. But that's basically how you change your oil. It's actually pretty simple. It goes pretty fast once you get to it. It takes about maybe 20-30 minutes once you get used to doing it. So it's pretty easy. It's very cost savings. I think that whole thing, even with the high mileage oil, which is a more expensive oil, and the more expensive deal, that cost me about $40 US. Something like that. So it's not too bad. Whereas when you take it to a shop, that might be, $60-70 or something. I don't know. I haven't been to the shop in a long time, actually. So anyway, because I've been doing it myself. And as long as you're willing to take the time and dispose of the oil and things properly, then I say you're good to go. But definitely read your owner's manuals. Check out some other videos on YouTube. I know there's definitely a video for your brand of car if you're worried about what to take apart or whatever. But in a nutshell, that's how you do it. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll be back with more DIY stuff in the future. Make sure and comment, like, subscribe, share, and check me out on social media. And I will see you in the next video.